The greatest struggle that any person will face is not the one they fight against an enemy, not even the challenges that come from the outside world. The real battle is the one that takes place deep within you. It's the war between who you were, who you are now, and who you are meant to become. It's a battle of mindsets, a clash of beliefs, a struggle between your past mistakes and your future potential. It's a fight with your fears, your insecurities, and your doubts. And if you're honest with yourself, you know that this is the most difficult war you'll ever face. Why is the battle within so difficult? Because it's not just about defeating one thing, it's about conquering layers of experiences, emotions, and mindsets that have built up over time. The way you see yourself, the way you think about your worth, the voices from your past, they all play a role in shaping who you are. Some of these voices are whispers from old memories that tell you that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve more, that you'll never get past what you've done or where you've been. But understand this, those whispers are not truth, they are lies. And if you listen long enough, those lies can become your reality. That's why the battle within is so dangerous. Because when you're fighting this war inside your own mind, you can start to believe that what's going on in your head is actually who you are. You can begin to think that you are your mistakes, that you are your failures, that you are the version of yourself that you've been holding on to for far too long. But here's the thing, you don't have to stay stuck in that version of yourself. You were not created to live in a perpetual cycle of regret and fear. You were made for more. However, you can't experience that more if you're still fighting against yourself, fighting against who you once were instead of embracing who you can become. Every day you wake up and you have a choice. You can either surrender to the voices that tell you you're not enough, or you can rise up against them. You can either let your past define you, or you can let it be the fuel that drives you toward your future. You have the power to change the narrative. The battle within is the conflict between the person you used to be and the person you're destined to become. What makes this battle even harder is that it's not always obvious. It's not a fight with punches or blows you can see and feel. The hardest battles are the ones that are fought quietly, in the quiet moments of doubt, in the whispers of your heart that say, maybe you're not capable. Maybe you don't have what it takes. It's the voice inside that says, who are you to try to do something greater? It's when you look in the mirror and see someone who's been beaten down, someone who's been told that they'll never be able to break free from their circumstances, and you wonder, can I really change? This battle is won one thought at a time. Each time you choose to believe in your potential over your limitations, each time you fight back against that lie that tells you you're stuck, you take a step toward victory. It's a battle of constant reprogramming. Every time you say to yourself, I am more than what I've been through, I am worthy of success and peace, you are winning. Every moment of self-doubt, every piece of fear, and every past regret is an opportunity for you to make a different choice. This battle isn't over in a day, a week, or even a year. It's a lifelong fight. But know this, the longer you fight, the stronger you become. The more you defeat those internal voices, the less power they have over you. Eventually, you reach a place where the battle isn't as wild as it once was. You no longer listen to the whispers of insecurity, the echoes of doubt, or the shadows of your past. You've gained a victory over your mind, and once you win this battle, you unlock the door to your future. But this doesn't come without effort. It requires intention. It requires you to get uncomfortable. You have to challenge yourself to think differently, to view your life from a new perspective. You have to choose to feed your mind with truth, with the belief that you are capable, that you are destined for greatness, that you are more than the mistakes you've made. It's not about erasing your past, but about embracing who you are becoming despite it. Because in the end, this battle within is not about fighting against yourself. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. And to do that, you have to confront the lies, confront the fear, and confront the fear, and confront every limiting belief that's held you back. When you do, you will rise in ways you never thought possible. Every single person has a set of limits. These are not the limits that the world places on you, but the ones you place on yourself. These limits are often formed by the stories you tell yourself about who you are and who you can become. These limits are born out of fear, doubt, and a lack of self-belief. But what if I told you that these limits don't exist outside of your own mind? What if I told you that every limitation you think you have is simply a barrier you've built around yourself, and the only thing standing between you and breaking through is the decision to push beyond what you believe is possible? You see, the greatest barrier you'll ever face is not an external one, but the invisible self-imposed limits that live in your mind. These limits can start small. You tell yourself, I can't do that because I don't have enough experience, or I'm not smart enough to succeed. Or I'll never be able to accomplish that dream. The more you say these things, the more they become ingrained in your thinking, and they start to define your actions, and before you know it, those words, those beliefs have become your reality. But let me tell you something, those limits are not real. They are the result of your own thinking, and you have the power to break them. Every person who has achieved greatness has had to break their own limits at some point. They've had to push past the thoughts that told them they couldn't go any further. They've had to move beyond the limits they believed were set in stone. Every successful person, every innovator, every dreamer, and every achiever has had to face the same battle, the fight to believe that they were capable of more than what they were told or what they thought they could achieve. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is not talent, but the willingness to challenge the limits they've set for themselves. The problem is that most people live their lives within the confines of their self-imposed limitations. They settle for what's comfortable, they accept what they've been told, and they never push beyond the borders of their own thinking. They tell themselves that they're too old, too young, too experienced, too unqualified, too anything. But those limitations are just stories. And the only way to rewrite that story is to challenge what you believe about your own potential. You were not created to fit inside a box. You were not designed to be confined by what you think you can or cannot do. If you are constantly measuring yourself by the standards set by the world, by others, or even by your own past, then you will never break free of those limits. You must come to the realization that the only limits that exist are the ones you choose to accept. And if you want to achieve something great, something extraordinary, something beyond what you ever thought possible, then you have to break through those barriers one by one. Now, I'm not saying this is easy. Breaking your own limits requires courage. It requires resilience. It requires you to be willing to fail and to keep moving forward. It's about stepping into the unknown, about taking risks, and about believing in yourself when nobody else does. It's about continuing when things get hard and the voices in your head tell you to quit. Because here's the thing, the more you break through those limits, the stronger you become, and the more the limits that once seemed impossible to overcome become less and less powerful. It's a process. It's not a one-time event. It's not a single moment where you wake up and decide that you're no longer limited. It's a continuous journey of pushing past your comfort zone, stretching yourself beyond what you thought was possible, and then reaching for something even greater. The more you expand yourself, the more you realize that there is no limit to what you can achieve. There is no boundary you can't push through. There is no glass ceiling you can't shatter. Every time you break a limit, you uncover a new version of yourself, a version that's bolder, stronger, and more capable. And the more you see that version of yourself, the more you'll understand that you were never meant to be limited. You were meant to soar, to break through the boundaries, to accomplish things that others thought impossible. Think about it, the people who have made the biggest impact on the world didn't do so by playing it safe. They didn't succeed by staying inside the box that others built for them. No, they achieved greatness because they dared to step outside the limits that were placed on them, to break down the barriers that everyone else said were unbreakable. They didn't let fear or doubt control them. They didn't let their past define their future. They took action. They believed in themselves, even when the odds were stacked against them. And that's what it comes down to, your belief in yourself. The limits you face aren't physical, they are mental and emotional. They are rooted in how you see yourself and what you believe you are capable of. The moment you change your mindset, the moment you start believing that there is no limit to what you can do, that's when everything changes. When you decide that nothing will stop you from reaching your dreams, that's when you'll break free from your own limitations. But breaking your own limits is not a one-time event, it's a lifestyle. It's something you do every day. Every day you wake up, you have a choice. You can choose to let the limits define you, or you can choose to break them. And let me tell you, there's no limit to what you can achieve if you keep pushing, keep striving, and keep believing. Every time you break through a limit, you prove to yourself that you can go further than you ever imagined. You are the only one who can break the limits that have been placed on you, whether by others or by yourself. You hold the key to your own freedom. Self-discovery is not a destination, it is a journey. It is the process by which you come to understand who you truly are, what you're capable of, and what you're capable of you are meant to do in this world. It is the unfolding of your deepest desires, your most hidden talents, and your truest purpose. But self-discovery does not happen easily, and it doesn't come without struggle. It's not something you find by simply walking through life passively. It requires intentionality, self-reflection, and a willingness to confront both the beautiful and the difficult parts of yourself. Too many of us go through life living according to expectations set by others. We adopt roles that we didn't choose, wear masks that were handed to us, and let the world define us. We follow paths that others have paved for us, thinking that's the only way forward. But the moment you begin to embark on the journey of self-discovery, you start peeling back the layers that have been placed over your true self. You begin to realize that who you are today is not necessarily who you've always been, nor who you are destined to become. The real you has always been there, waiting to be revealed, but it's up to you to find that person, embrace them, and let them flourish. The first step in this journey is often the hardest. It's the willingness to take a long, hard look in the mirror and be honest with yourself about who you are, not just the person you've been pretending to be, but the person you truly are at your core. This requires vulnerability. You have to be willing to face your fears, your flaws, and your past. You have to confront the pain and the doubts that you buried deep inside. It's uncomfortable, it's messy, and sometimes it's downright painful. But it's in that raw honesty with yourself that you begin to understand the depths of your being. When you look deeper, you realize that the struggle you faced, the pain you've endured, and the mistakes you've made weren't just obstacles, they were all part of the process of revealing who you really are. Every setback, every failure, every heartache has shaped you, molded you, and given you the wisdom you need to move forward. These experiences, painful as they may be, are the building blocks of your self-discovery. They teach you resilience. They show you strength you never knew you had. They help you understand the depths of your capacity for growth. And it's through these experiences that you come to understand the power of transformation. Self-discovery is not a quick fix. It is a lifelong journey that evolves as you evolve. There are moments in this journey when you will encounter doubt. You will question whether you're on the right path, whether you have what it takes, and whether you'll ever truly understand your purpose. But it's important to remember that these doubts are part of the process. They are not signs of weakness, but opportunities for growth. Doubt, when used properly, becomes the fertilizer for self-reflection. It pushes you to ask hard questions, to seek deeper truths, and to become more attuned to your inner self. Without this tension, without the times when you feel uncertain, you cannot grow. It is in the spaces of uncertainty that you begin to expand, and that's where the real power lies. Along the way, you will also begin to uncover strengths that you didn't even know you possessed. There are gifts, talents, and abilities inside of you that have been dormant, waiting for the right moment to awaken. You may discover that you are more creative, more resilient, or more capable than you ever thought possible. You may find that your true calling lies in a direction you never expected, one that requires you to stretch, to step outside your comfort zone, and to take risks. But with every new discovery, you become more empowered. You begin to see that you are not bound by the limits of your past or the expectations of others. Instead, you become the author of your own story, free to write the next chapter in a way that aligns with your true self. The beauty of self-discovery is that it also helps you uncover your deeper desires and passions. So often we get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life and trying to meet deadlines and pleasing others, or in fulfilling external expectations. But self-discovery allows you to reconnect with what makes you come alive. It helps you uncover the dreams that have been buried underneath the weight of responsibilities and obligations. It's about returning to your heart, to the things that inspire you, to the things that make you feel fully alive. When you begin to listen to your heart, you discover that there are things you've always wanted to do, places you've always wanted to go, and people you've always wanted to become, but you've been too afraid or too distracted to pursue them. Through self-discovery, you give yourself permission to chase those dreams, to step into the life you were always meant to live. But the power of self-discovery goes beyond just understanding yourself. It is also about understanding your place in the world. As you begin to uncover who you truly are, you also begin to see your purpose in a broader context. You realize that you are not just living for yourself, but for something greater than yourself. You are part of a bigger picture, and your gifts, talents, and passions are meant to be shared with others. Through self-discovery, you understand that your life is not just about you. It's about what you can give to the world, how you can serve others, and how you contribute to the collective good. The power of self-discovery also lies in your ability to change. As you grow, as you learn more about yourself, you begin to realize that you are not fixed. You are not a static being who is bound by your past decisions or circumstances. Instead, you are a living, breathing entity capable of transformation. You can choose to rewrite your story at any time. You can decide to shed old identities, old beliefs, and old habits that no longer serve you. This is where true power lies, when you understand that your future is not defined by what's happened to you, but by what you choose to do with the present moment. Self-discovery is a journey that will last a lifetime, but it's one that will empower you in ways you never thought possible. As you uncover your true self, you will find that you are capable of things you never imagined. You will step into your power, and in doing so, you will change the world around you. The journey of self-discovery is the greatest gift you can give yourself. The journey of self-discovery is not a quick path, nor is it always easy. It requires courage, vulnerability, and the willingness to confront the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding. But in embracing this journey, you unlock a power within yourself that is limitless. The more you uncover, the more you understand your true potential. You begin to see that your past does not define you. It only prepares you for the greatness that lies ahead. Self-discovery empowers you to break free from the constraints that society, others, or even your own mind may have placed upon you. It allows you to step into the fullness of who you are and embrace the unique purpose you were always meant to fulfill. As you grow, as you learn more about yourself, you will find that the possibilities before you are endless. You are not bound by limitations. You are bound only by the limits you place on yourself. So embrace the journey of self-discovery. Be patient with yourself, but also be intentional. Remember, the power to change, to grow, and to evolve is always in your hands. When you choose to discover who you truly are, you not only transform your own life, but you also open the door to a future filled with endless possibilities, growth, and impact. The best version of yourself is waiting to be uncovered, and the world is waiting for you to step into it.